Welcome back to Mountain Connections. Right now we are joined by Dan Merkley, the co-founder of the Valkyrie Multisport Relay, coming up right here in our local area in June. Excited to talk more about this incredible race and to learn more about Dan. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks a lot for having me. Appreciate it.
So you've had a very intriguing past year. I'd love to hear more about what has happened with you in your career, what you did pre-pandemic, and what has led you to what you're doing right now.
Well, I suddenly had a lot of time to work on a personal project starting about a year ago, March. My career of 25 years has been organizing and operating major services for major international sporting events, particularly the Olympic Games, with a focus on athlete villages, which is where the athletes, coaches, and trainers stay. And that took me around the world. I spent most of the last 15, maybe 18 years abroad. But I was grounded a year ago, March, because of pandemic, and it allowed me, if there's a silver lining, it allowed me to focus more on an event of my own making with my co-founder, the Valkyrie Multisport Relay. We've been working on it since 2019, actually.
Then, of course, everything changed, and as you mentioned, you found yourself with more time. Tell me a little bit more about that experience of what made you decide to go this way and to organize this race.
Well, I don't know, maybe I'm like a moth to flame. I just love I love these complex projects. I like the fact that they have kind of a beginning and an end, and it crescendos into a moment for people to engage in, and that's what I like about that. But coming from just an operational planning background, doing finally a sporting event of my own and with my business partner just felt like the best thing I've done in 20 years is to do something on my own. The hardest part about this is just trying to launch during a pandemic. We started marketing this in 2019, hoping to hold the race in August of 2020, but it got squashed. And so we just regrouped and dusted ourselves off and started promoting for this June. And it hasn't been an easy road by any means. The hardest thing has been securing permits to hold the event when everything has been such a moving target. We've lost a lot of time in marketing, waiting for positive answers, but we finally have them. And so we're moving forward with June 19th for this race.
So tell me more about the specifics of the race.
Yeah, I was surprised that no one had done this, a race of this kind, of this scale, before in this area, because now I know it's because it's so hard to put together. We've got 10 permitting offices, and there are 7 sports, and it's all tied to the natural outdoor resource of Wasatch County, starting at the top of Jordanelle at Ross Creek Trail, and ending at Soldier Hollow. So the 7 sports in this relay are trail running, kayak paddling, marathon, mountain biking, stand-up paddling, swimming, open swimming, and road cycling. And it traces through 3 national parks, 2 communities, and even North Fork Canyon on the Alpine Loop, and then back into Midway.
Oh, sports that are very popular here in Utah, that people love participating in. And so tell me a little bit more about the format and how long these legs are and how people can participate. They need a team and all those ins and outs.
Yeah, so it's not billed as a heptathlon, even though there are 7 sports. It's a relay, so it's actually quite accessible for people, because even if you don't want to run a marathon, we have the option where you can split that marathon into 2 halves. So you can add a member of your team of 7 and have 8 people, so that you can split the marathon. And the paddle sports are only 5K, and the swim is a mile long. So there's really something for everyone to either specialize in or just to jump on a team. We have a full course version that's almost 100 miles long in total, and we have a sprint course version that's 64 miles, and it has the same spectacular course as the full, just shorter distances. And everything culminates at the finish line at Soldier Hollow.
And how can people register?
We have a theoretical cap in order to meet the guidelines for mass gathering for COVID, but I'm not concerned about people rushing to register. I think one of the hardest hurdles in establishing a new race is just getting the footprint and the word out among the communities that be interested in it.
Are there any deadlines for registration though?
The online registration will end about 72 hours before the race, so we'll accept registrations until quite late. But after 72 hours before the race, if you wanted to register a team, you'd have to appear in person at packet pickup, and we could register in person at that point. But we are not only are we accepting registrations now, but we are even about to launch a healthy number of promotions to factor in some steep discounts for people that want to join as either a youth team, so under 18. We have promotions for under 18 teams, promotions for students that are all a member of the same school. We have promotions coming up for active armed forces, for first responders and health workers, and social impact and nonprofit teams.
And our community here really love events like this. We enjoy getting out and competing and have missed it so much. So where's the best place to go to get more information? If we have any questions to ask, to register, all the things, where should we go?
To our website, valkyrierelay.com. You can contact us there, and you can register from there, volunteer, and even shop. And we have really great detailed maps that are embedded on the site. Lots of information. We've done a good job of describing the event for people and its concept, and we're happy to talk about it more with a direct email to us. We love talking about it.
And Dan, I may be jumping ahead too much, but do you hope to make this an annual race? Are you hoping to organize more races as well?
Absolutely. Our aspiration is to create a community annual destination event. The race itself is enough to, I think, rally the communities of Summit and Wasatch County on an annual basis. We have a contract with Soldier Hollow to do this race for the next 5 years on the second to last Saturday of June. So the water levels are high, the vegetation's still green. It's a nice time of year to do a race, and we plan on being around as a community-based event. We're not an invasion force. I mean, we really want to grow this as something that Summit and Wasatch counties can get excited about, and we think that's the best way to do a race like this, best way to form a community of loyal racers, and because it's so tied to the local geography. We don't pull up in a semi truck and just unload.
Well, Dan, it's exciting that this race is happening here in our local area. I'm excited to learn more about it just by looking at the incredible visuals on your website and that we've shown today. Definitely highlights our local area, and it's exciting to think about getting out and competing. We appreciate you joining us today. Dan Merkley is the co-founder of the Valkyrie Multisport Relay. We appreciate him joining us today. We'll be back with more right after this.